absolutely do that. Hey, so last Friday, it was a homecoming for the ages as Buena battled the elements and an opponent that had no problem with either en route to a 70-0 victory over Desert View, taking the record to an incredible 6-1. And before our Colts head to Marana to try and dethrone the undefeated Tigers, we'll take a few minutes to talk about all of it on this edition of the Buena Colt football pregame with Jeff Davenport. So glad that you are joining us here today for this. And of course, we're joined by the one and only head coach Joe Thomas. Coach, thanks so much for talking to us today. As always, it's always a pleasure to see you. And let's discuss homecoming. It was quite the happy homecoming on Friday.
Yeah, it was exciting. Anytime homecoming is such a big game, right? Because you have festivities going on every night. We didn't have school. We didn't have school on Monday. Tuesday, they had a dodgeball tournament. They had a bonfire on Wednesday. There was a JV game on Thursday. Flag football Thursday. There's pep rally Friday. They had the tailgating on. So it was just so much going on, and people coming back for the game. Everybody's excited and hyped up about it. And, we wanted to put on a show. We tell the kids we're here. It's Friday night. We're the only show in town that was on that Friday night. And, we got to put on a show, and that we did. We felt like we could put up a lot of points. A lot of people scored. We felt like our defense was going to take care of business. And the good thing about it is, Jeff, we won the game, and every week we're getting better. So to be 6-1 at this point in time in the year, playing and 5A football is tough. People can say what they want. 5A football is really tough, and the wins don't always come easy. And we're where we're at right now. We're happy to be here, but we want to keep on plugging away.
Well, let's talk about it. Obviously, a lot of things went right in a 70-0 victory. A lot of things go right.
Yeah.
What specifically were some of the things that stood out to you during that game?
We had a lot of big plays. Nash threw he completed 4 passes, but he had almost 300 yards. He rushed for a nice gain. Jaden Thomas had 2 touchdowns, 81 yards, but he only had three catches. Andreas Bonilla, I think he might have had 7 carries. He had 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Mikey had a touchdown. Charlie had a touchdown.
I think it would take less time to say who didn't score.
So we had TJ had a pick 6. So we had a lot of big plays. So offensively, we didn't run a lot of plays offensively, but we just put up a lot of points really quick. At one point in time, I think it might have been 21, 28 points we put up in a matter of 3 or 4 minutes. But that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
We do want to score fast. If we have to run the clock, we will. But it was a fun game.
Oh, without a doubt. Now the fun shifts because starting on Monday. You have Victory Monday or however you celebrate it, and then this week, tomorrow night, facing off against the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
This is the creme de la creme, the pièce de résistance of the conference,
right.
And that being the Marana Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about this game.
Yeah. So
6-1 versus 8-0.
Yeah. Well, and they're a good team. They got a lot of good things going, but I feel like we're a good team. We got a lot of good things going, and every week we got to prove it. They want to stay number 1. We want to dethrone them from that number 1. They got some playmakers. We got some playmakers. So we're excited about that. The good thing about also winning and getting better is we knew that they were on the schedule. We knew they were going to be the team. Whoever wins this game tomorrow is going to be the region champ because they'll win the rest of their games. So we're looking at it in a positive way. And, last week there were some things we felt like we need to clean up to get ready for Marana. The week before we felt like, when we played Casa Grande, we lost to Casa Grande last year. We knew there were some things we needed to clean up to get ready for Marana. So we're as healthy as we can be and we're prepared as we're going to be. And, they're a good team, but so are we. And we're excited.
Talk about some of the things you focused on in practice this week. What were some of the takeaways? Again, when you have a monumental homecoming win, but again, going into... It's not a must-win game. It's a game you definitely want to win. You want to win all of them.
Correct.
What are some of the exact things that you've been focusing on for offense, defense, special teams?
Well, offense, just giving a different look, right? Everybody's seen our film up until this point. So, there's a couple different looks that we're going to show tomorrow, some things that we did that we haven't shown in previous games. The playbook's wide open, right? So you guys might see some things that you haven't seen. Defensively, being more aggressive. We want to make sure we get out and we tackle on the screens. Our DBs didn't get beat deep last week and the prior week, so we're excited about that. So those are some things we want to work on. But offensively, open up the playbook. The sky is the limit. As many of our athletes on the field, you might see some different personnel changes. You might see some different people, receiver, tight end, quarterback, whatever. We're pulling out all the stops because we just want to give a different look. And, against a good team, you want to show them something a little different. Defensively, just discipline. Discipline. Attack when you get there. We've done a lot of tackling drills, going up to this moment also. So just working on those little things. But at the end of the day, we have to get it done. on offense. We have to get it done on defense. And still in the back of our mind, we owe a little payback to these guys because, they stung us the last couple of years and they beat us pretty good. And hats off to them for that. But this year we got to get it.
Special teams, how important is that going to be? Could it come down to a special teams effort? There's 3 phases to football.
Yes.
Talk about special teams effort that could possibly be a difference maker when facing Marana.
And we have, and as far as, the kickoff, we have the best kickoff team that we've had at Buena since I've been here. Like, we're loading them up.
That's 10 years, guys, just so you know.
If we score and we kick off to a team and they run it back, that's not a good thing. So we have all hands on deck on our kickoff team. We have a good kicker in Alan Marana, so that's good. We're excited about our kickoff return team. There's not too many teams that have been kicking off to us much, but we feel like we'll get some kickoffs to us, and we're going to be able to let those guys excel. Our PATs, I think he's hit 59 PATs this year, which is
well, he's had a lot of touchdowns to be able to
we've had a
follow
lot
up
of
with,
touchdowns. So yeah, and every point matters.
Yes,
some teams, there's some games won or lost by that. If we have to kick a field goal, he's been kicking field goals for us. So if it comes down to that, we trust him. We're ready. We're going to get excited. So you'll see a lot more aggression out of our special teams, and you've probably been seeing a little bit more lately. We've helped some fumble recoveries. We haven't had any kickoffs ran back on us because we wanted to beef up that kickoff team and not give up any gimmies. And you just got to be solid, because guess what? If your offense is and their defense is equal, and your defense and their offense is equal, then somebody's got to find the edge somewhere, right? So is it a missed PAT? Is it a blocked field goal? Is it a kickoff return that somebody ran back? So you got to be disciplined offensive game, especially at this point. We're not playing just the number 1 team in 5A. They're the number 1 team in the state right now, in the open.
Yeah.
So they're the number 1 team, and we're excited because it gives us some motivation. We're playing the best team that they feel is in the state right now. The power rank is going to go up. Just us playing them alone is going to boost us. So we get that win that we're looking for. It's really going to boost us. If things happen not to swing our way, it's still going to boost our rating because we just played the number 1 team in the state. So we're going in. We're playing football, baby.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited about that. You get me all pumped up here. Before we talk to the 3 kids, the 3 young men, the 3 student athletes who are the choices on the Buena Colt football Facebook page as the players of the week, offense, defense, and team. You're wearing a special ribbon on your hat today. Let's talk about that.
I don't have any personal, nobody in the family or anything, that has passed away or anything from it. But just to all the survivors out there, keep fighting, who kept fighting, and gone through,
for the breast cancer
awareness. That's something huge. In October, it's nice that we get to do that. We have the whistle, we have this, we have the shirt. The kids are able to do that too. So it's just making known that people are aware of it. And there's so many survivors out there, and even though we don't know them name by name or one by one, we're so happy for them. Our condolences to those who have lost somebody due to that. But there are so many survivors out there, that are still out there right now and doing well. So we're happy. We're happy for those. My dad, Agent Orange, he's in Vietnam. He got out that. He's good. He's good right now. So it's just we're happy, and we're able to represent just a little bit. It's just everybody sees the pink in October, and they see that they know what it's about. And I leave this on year round. It don't have to be October. I leave it on year round. But just showing awareness and showing love to those that have fought it and beat it, and our condolences to those that lost their loved ones.
And remembering those who did not make it out of that particular fight. But let's take a moment to talk to some of these kids that you got for us. Who are we going to be talking to today?
We'll talk to Nash, and then I actually had 2 team players.
Two. Okay, all right.
So
I know we got defense.
So Nash Moore for offense.
Yes.
And then Danny Bowling for defense. TJ's player, and then Elias Dyson was actually team player. So we got 2 for team player. Nash had a good night. He was able to throw the ball, and he had 6 touchdown passes. The big one was his 81-yard rushing touchdown that he finally came through. And I was giving him a hard time. I said, "Nash, you owe me 80 yards. You owe me 80 yards." And I said, "Give me 80 yards. If you throw you 200+ yards, that's fine." And he finally came through and got me my 80 yards.
Just in one play.
And he was struggling afterwards. We didn't know if he was going to make it, but it was exciting. So I was glad he did his thing there. So Nash did that. Danny Bowen, he was close to getting defensive player of the game so many times, but he stepped it up, and he made tackles.
It sounded like he was flying all over the field.
He was flying around. He's a strong kid. He's aggressive. And so I was happy that he was able to get that. TJ made a lot of plays on defense. and you know he blocked so well on offense for us, which was good. And then he had a nice pick six that I called all week. I said, TJ, you're gonna pick that off. He made me look good because he picked it. So he got that team player. Elias Dyson was able to get a fumble recovery, an interception, and he had a reverse, ran back for a touchdown offense. So we have the 2 team players, Nash's offense, Danny's defense, and then TJ and Elias got the team.
Well, line them up and let's go talk to them. It is the Buena Football pregame here on Cool FM Live, and so glad that you guys joined us. Make sure you share this video around, tag your friends and family members who are into Buena football. And Nash, young man, great to talk to you again, sir. So how was it after that 81-yard run? You were ready to go run another 80, right? I mean, you're just fine. There was no breathing issues or anything like that, right?
No, I was ready for the oxygen tank like they give the big old guys in the league. So. I might have to work on my cardio a little bit, so maybe I can have another one, but I was so tired.
Well, again, you exert so much on the field as it is, and then have to go. Was it a scramble play or was it a design run?
We had a little bit of a miscommunication on my part. We had called a pass play for Jaden, and I messed it up, and then so I took off. I really didn't want to run, but I guess that's the way it had, and we had a lot of guys downfield blocking. We had some really great blocks. Probably the best blocking I've seen personally from our guys this year.
And they saved it just for you. I mean, how nice of them was that? Let's talk about, again, homecoming, your senior year. You put on a show for the entire city. What did that feel like?
It felt good. I felt better for my guys. I mean, I didn't have the greatest performance. It was actually probably my worst performance passing, but it's nothing to be sad about. I mean, we won 70-0. We had multiple guys with 50-plus yard runs, so I'm not mad at it at all. It felt great. Everybody at the school was happy. Stans was happy, so that's what it's about.
Now let's talk about this coming Friday. Coach Thomas mentioned opening up the playbook a little bit. How excited are you to actually have some different looks or unique plays to choose from, some extra plays to choose from in this game coming up tomorrow against the undefeated Marana Tigers?
Well, it's exciting. It's always exciting when we add new stuff. You know, the install on Monday. A lot of it comes from me talking to him and him talking back to me, and we get some things figured out what we want to do. But I mean, all of the trick plays are him. I don't deal with that stuff. He's got his own mind. So hopefully we can come out with some stuff that they haven't seen. We can maybe stifle them a little bit.
Well, that's something we're looking forward to, man. And congratulations again on all the success, and best of luck come tomorrow night in Marana. Thanks, Nash. Oh, come on up here. Introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Daniel Bolin.
Daniel, I'll shake your hand, young man. And good to see you. What grade are you in?
Senior.
A senior as well. So, Daniel, defensive player of the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is it like to be someone who is a resource, to be flying all around the field? What does it feel like on the defense, on this field, on homecoming, to be able to perform at a level like that?
It feels good, but it feels like just a regular standard that all of us should be doing. I mean, our defense, especially for this next game, has to be performing like that on every play. So having a game like that just shows that I can have what it takes to play against Marana, and it shows that the rest of our defense does too. Because it was like a fight to see who's gonna be defensive player of the game. It wasn't just like I took it like from far. It was like 3 other people. So we have like really good defensive players that should have got it too. So we got what it takes. And I just know we have some weapons that Marana's not ready for.
Let's talk about that game. You mentioned Marana. You brought him up. All right, going to Tiger Country tomorrow night against the 8-0, number 1 in the state team. I would look at something like that as that doesn't scare me. That excites me. How do you think you and the defense are feeling right now?
I think we're feeling good. We want to lay the boom. Like we don't experience as much passing as other teams, but we've been passing a lot, and we want to see something across their face because we want to lay them out. So we're just excited for that. We want some picks, a pick six, some fumbles. We're ready for this.
The more they pass, the more opportunities you have at those to be able to get in front of that ball and make some plays. Well, congratulations again, Defensive Player of the Week. Daniel, good to see you.
Right,
who's next? Who's coming at us next? We'll see who's coming at us next here on the Buena Colt pregame, the big game tomorrow night against Marana. Oh, sir, lovely to see you. Introduce yourself to us all.
Elias Dyson. I'm a senior, 17.
Man, let's talk about this. Your senior year, homecoming, you get to lay the smack down. I mean, come on, man. You had some huge plays, and being able to be recognized by your team and by your coach for a performance like that. Football is a team game, but talk to me about what it means to make sure that you do your part to help the team succeed?
I just really have to do everything I can to make sure the team can, because like I'm a DB, so I have to make sure that I'm covering my guy, staying on him, calling in when he goes in, so that the defense can really stay like all together. And then on offense, when I get the ball, I got to make plays. So
Being a utility player where, you're on offense, defense, and special teams. I mean, you're a triple threat when it comes out on this green grass on any given Friday night. Is there any aspect that excites you more, or is it just the chance to be able to contribute?
I mean, just the chance to be able to contribute. I like to have the ball in my hands. I like to make plays. So, I mean, and anytime I see the ball up in the air, I want to go get it. So.
Well, and hopefully you're going to get it many, many times tomorrow night, because that's what it's going to take to end up going into Tiger Country and laying an upset. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I've been waiting for this game all season. I don't think we're gonna
your whole Colt career. I mean,
Yeah.
right? I mean, come on. This is obviously you play Marana every year, but these last few years, it's gone a certain way. Are we ready to turn that tide?
Yeah,
tomorrow night?
I mean, the past 2 years haven't been too great, but I mean, honestly, we're a better team this year, and I think we're gonna go in there and win. And I don't even think it's gonna be an upset. I think we're supposed to win. So we had a bad game against Tucson High, but that's it.
Exactly. And we wish you all the best
Thank
as
you.
you head up to Marana tomorrow. I think we got one more person to talk to. Who is that? Is it TJ? Yeah. Oh my goodness, Mr. Pick Six himself. Let's talk about this, TJ. First of all, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, I'm TJ, otherwise known as Lacetus Walker.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
See, now, out of the four that we've talked to, you're the only junior representing. All the others were seniors. And what's it like to be able to contribute at such a high level as, not an underclassman, you're a junior, but being compared on the same level as the seniors who've been a part of this team for all 4 years?
I just know what I'm capable of, and I've always been capable of that since sophomore year. I've always been able to contribute. But yeah.
And let's talk about the game, 70-0, where you're out on this field, packed house, crazy crowd, homecoming. It's your junior homecoming, and you get to perform the way you did. Talk about the pick six. What was that like? What was the play that you saw, and how did you see it unfolding?
So from watching film, they did that motion, right? And I just, bumped out on the motion. I seen the QB's eyes. I just knew it was going to be there. So, yeah, I jumped it, and took it to the house.
How cool is a feeling like that? Again, where the defensive player becomes the offensive player and gets a little bit of the glory.
It's pretty cool. It's always pretty cool to, grab a pick.
Well, and you get to contribute in more ways than just defense. Obviously,
Right.
Coach Thomas, trusts you in so many different facets of this game. Let's talk about the game tomorrow night. It's going to be a big time. This is the immovable force versus the unstoppable object, and you are going to have a tough task on your hands. What have you seen in game film that you think is going to help you and help the defense possibly go back-to-back pitching shutouts against the number one team in the state of Arizona?
I just know they like to pass a lot, and our coverage isn't the best, but we've been picking it up more and more. So I think just personally that we could definitely make something happen.
And again, when you have an offense that is going to be throwing the ball, it gives you more of a chance for another pick six, right?
It does. It does.
Well, congratulations, TJ. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. We appreciate you. And as Coach Thomas, he's all the way over on the other side of the field. I'm not sure if I want to bug him and have him come all the way over here. But again, you are looking live at the practice the day before. This Buena Colt team will go up against the undefeated 8-0 Marana Tigers. And as Coach Thomas said, there are certain things that they're looking to clean up, increasing the playbook size and doing all of the things that they focused on in practice this week. Staying disciplined on defense, opening up the playbook on offense. How will it all come together? You're going to see it all tomorrow night, 7 p.m. as Buena travels to Marana. Colts versus the Tigers live. And it is going to be, John, are you going to be there for that one? All right, so John will be there covering that one. And you will see it live here on Cool FM Live on behalf of Coach Thomas and the amazing folks here at Buena High School, these young student athletes. Remember, these guys, they have homework, they have pop quizzes, they have tests, they have things that they need to do in order to be able to be eligible to stay on this field. And Coach Thomas knows better than anybody, the student athlete, the student comes first. And as he's coming back over here, we'll wrap up with Coach as he's
Again, opening up that playbook, man. It's going to be some surprises. It's fun tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. So we always work on trick plays that we, if you look at all our wins and stuff, and you notice one thing you'll notice about me, I don't have a play sheet.
Right.
You won't go back and keep on looking back at all my.
Oh, I know. I've been up in that booth.
I don't have a play sheet. Why? Because when I look at teams, and it helps me do my homework. So when I look at teams, I study what we do well against them. That's all I want to put in my mind. I don't want to look at 100 plays and all these other distractions. So, but every week we always work on some trick plays, and I let these guys call their favorite play.
Yeah.
So each of my starters, the skill guys, they have their play. Yeah. If we call their name, we know what play it is. And then, of course, you have all your trick plays that you like to run. So if needed, we'll throw something out there just to give a different look. But, we work those all the time just so if we need them, we have them. But up here is what you want to look at when it's time to call a play. I don't want to be looking at a list full of 20 things. I want to know, hey, if I've done my homework, I know what works. I know how to put our kids in best position. Sometimes I'll let Nash call a play. If he does a good drive or he throws a nice ball, I'll say, hey, call the next play. And he'll probably do another pass play, which is fine. But our kids, they do have some plays. We're going to open it up a little bit.
How many rushing yards will Nash have tomorrow night?
Oh my Lord!
82?
Listen, the crazy part is if he's running the ball, that means that there was kind of a letdown because we didn't call any design runs to him.
Right.
But obviously, if he's dropping back and their DBs are covering our guys, we do want him to run. So when he, I say 80 yards because I want him to pick up, maybe if it's 3rd and 10 and he's scrambling, pick up 10 yards every so often. But he did that on one. But we really don't want him to have a lot of undesigned rushing yards per se, but if he has to make plays with his feet, he's capable of doing this. If he picks up another 80, if he picks up 100, that'll be a definite confidence booster.
Yeah, and that would mean that you're going to win that game.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. So, those are the things you're looking forward to tomorrow night as the Buena Colts 6-1 head to Marana 8-0. Juggernaut versus Juggernaut is going to be a dogfight for sure. You're going to see it tomorrow night right here on Cool FM Live. Coach, thanks so much for always letting us stop by and see you on the guys for the Buena pregame, Buena Colt football pregame. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for sharing this video and tagging your family and friends. Maybe some Marana folks watching this right now. We see you, and the Colt Stampede is coming your way tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Have a great day, everybody, and go Colts.